All right, guys. So this is our lesson about time, and this will help us practice with numbers, which is our lesson from yesterday. So how do I say what time is it in Spanish? Well, what time is it in Spanish is ¿qué hora es? We're going to write it right here. What time is it? So this is my question. And also remember that in Spanish, we use two question marks. One at the beginning of your question and the other one at the end of your question. So you must use two. All right. How do we tell time in Spanish? To tell time, we use son las, es la. Son las, es la. So son las y es la, they both mean it is. This is an I. They both mean it is. I'm going to rewrite this. They both mean it is. So if these two phrases mean it is, when do I use it or how do I use it? Well, son las is used for numbers 2 to 12. So if I want to say it is 2, son las dos. It is 12, son las 12. And es la is only used with number 1. Now, I've learned that the 1 in Spanish is uno. But in the case of time, we have to write una. It ends with an A. Una. Es la una. So make sure you get that. Make sure you're writing this with me. All right, son las, es la. Son las is used for 2 to 12. Y es la from 1. Son las is used for 2 to 12. Es la is for 1. Una. All right, so let's move on to the next part. So after the hour, I use the word y. So remember, y. Don't say y, say y. Okay, so after the hour. After the hour, después means after the hour. Después de la hora, after the hour. So what this means is that if it is 2:10, I am going to write son las. And what's 2 in Spanish? So I am going to write the time 2:10. So I have to start with it is 2:10. So I will pick son because remember son las is used for numbers 2 to 12. Son las dos. So after the hour, I use y. Y. And what's 10 in Spanish? 10. Good. Good job. So son las 2:10. Let's write another time. Let's write 3:20. So I will pick son las because we're talking about 3. So I'm going to write son las. In 3 in Spanish is tres. Son las 3:20. Que that's 20 in Spanish. Son las 3:20. Okay, so that's what I mean by using E after the hour. Now, here are two terms that we are going to use when we tell time. One is to say a quarter of an hour and half of an hour. So this here is and a quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. And what's half of an hour? 30 minutes. Okay? So, y cuarto, no cuatro. Don't think of the number 4, even though it's really easy to confuse the two of them. Cuatro is C-U-A-T-R-O. That's cuatro. That's 4. What I'm saying is cuarto. C-U-A-R-T-O. So pay attention to those two. Cuarto y cuatro. Because a lot of people have made this mistake. So I'm letting you know now the difference between these two. 4 is cuatro. And a quarter is cuarto. Okay, so we're talking about a quarter of an hour. So that's cuarto. And half, which is 30 minutes, is y media. So how do I use these two? That's what we're going to do now. So how do I use these two? Let me write times, different times. So I'm going to write the time 8:15, 8:15, and 1:30. So for 8:15, I will peg son las, because remember son las is used for numbers from 2 to 12. Son las 8. Y after the hour, y cuarto, because that's 15. Cuarto. Y cuarto. Are there people that say 15 instead of cuarto? Yes, they do. But I'm teaching you another way to tell time as well. So now 1:30. For 1, do I use son las or es la? You use es la. Es la. Do I say uno o una? Una. Es la 1:30, media, because that's half of an hour. So es la 1:30. So this is how I use it. 8:15, 1:30, 8:15 son las 8:15. 1:30 es la 1:30. We're going to practice a little bit more with this later. So make sure you have this with you. So, but what happens after 30 minutes? Okay. Now, from 12, which is 00 minutes, till 30, remember there's a 6 here, and that equals your 30-minute mark, we use the word E. Well, from 31, 32, 35 till the next hour, we use the word menos. What does menos mean? Means minus. And you learned this yesterday too from your number lesson. So minus. So now we're going to cover that. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? So after the 30-minute mark, round up to the next hour and subtract how many minutes are left. So let's do this together. So this is, and I'm going to use another color. This is 30. This is 35. This is 40. 45. 50. 55. Here's a whole new hour, 60. Okay, remember there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, so we all know that the little hand, the short hand tells the hour and the long hand tells the minutes. So to tell time past the 30-minute mark, this is what we need to do, okay? So you're gonna go, let's start by writing the time 7:35. Okay, 7:35. Let's start by writing the time 7:35. Okay, so now I'm gonna use the word minus. Okay, no, I'm not working with E, I'm working with minus because past the 30-minute mark, we use minus when we tell time. So what do I need to do? Well, first, you're gonna go up a number, okay? You're gonna go up or go forward. We're gonna put go forward. So you need, so for 7:30, we're gonna write number 7:35. So what do I need to do? Well, okay, so what you need to do is you need to go forward to the next hour. Okay, so that's 1. So what is the number after 7? That will be 8. What's my next step? Well, you need to subtract. I'm going to use a different color here. You need to subtract from 60. Subtract from 60. From 60. So that will give me, what's 60 minus 35? Yes, 25. Then you need to subtract from 60. So what does that give me? 25. It will give me 25. So we're going to write this. We're going to start with son las, go forward to the next hour, 8. And remember, we're no longer using E, we're using menos. Son las 8 menos, and you need to subtract from 60, which is 25. Son las 8 menos 25. All right, let's practice a little bit more with this, okay? So let's write the time 6:45. 6:45. So remember, you need to go up or move forward Move forward to the next hour. Okay. All right, so 6:45. All right, so remember that you need to go, or you need to go forward. You need to go forward to the next hour. So you need to go forward to the next hour, and then you need to subtract from 60. Okay, so my time will be, go forward to the next hour, that will be 7. So I'll say son las 7 y. No, we're not using E. Remember, past the 30-minute mark, we're using minus. And minus in Spanish is menos. Menos. And I have to take 45 from 60. And that will be 15. So what's 15 in Spanish? It's 15. And when I tell time, it's cuarto. Cuarto. So 6:45 son las 7 menos cuarto. Son las 7 menos cuarto, 6:45. Okay? So, move on to the next one. All right, so this is vocabulary. On the dot is en punto. So if I want to say that I am going to be in school at 7 on the dot, that's 7 en punto. Or if I want to say that it is 7 on the dot, I will say son las 7 en punto. Punto. Okay, so I got midday and I got noon. That's mediodía. So when it's 12 p.m., I am going to say el mediodía. Es el mediodía. It's el mediodía. Midnight, medianoche. So when it's 12 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to say, I have to say, es la medianoche. Yes. So then I have a.m. and p.m. a.m. de la mañana. So if I say 7 a.m., son las 7 de la mañana. Son las 7 de la mañana. And then I have p.m., which is tarde, de la tarde, o de la noche. De la tarde o de la noche. That's p.m. And it all depends if it's the afternoon or the evening. So just how it is means son las, es la. At is a las y a la. So if you had to guess, when do you think I use a las? Same concept as it is. from 2 to 12. And when do I use a la? When it's 1. So if I have to say, at what time are you going to be in school? I am going to be in school at 7:35. I'm going to be at the game at 3:30. So this is how I use it. At is a las y a la. A las is used from 2 to 12. Y a la is used at 1 for 1. Here you go. Es la 1 de la tarde. Es la 1 de la tarde. Tengo clase a la 1 de la tarde. I have class at 1 in the afternoon. Okay, so ¿qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? If you said son las 10, good job. You got it. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? If you said son las 5, it is 5. Good job. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? If you said son las 5:10, got that one right too. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? Son las 8:15. Son las 8:15. Remember, cuarto is 15 minutes. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? If you said son las 3:30, good job. Remember, the media is 30 minutes. Okay, so it's ¿qué hora es? And look at that. The long hand is on 12, on the dot. What will you say? What will you use? What time is it? Es la 1:00. ¿Qué hora es? Now look at it. It's past the 30-minute mark. So I no longer use y. Now I use menos, which means minus. So if you said son las 10:20, good job. Remember, you go up, you go forward an hour, and you subtract from 60. So the time here is son las 10:20. ¿Qué hora es? Again, we're passing that 30-minute mark, so remember you have to use menos. Son las 7:15. ¿Qué hora es? So here it's 12, but remember that we have learned another way to say midday and midnight. Now, we're not saying if it's AM or PM, so you're going to have 2 answers for this. Es medianoche. Go back. So what time is it? So es medianoche. No, I don't like this. Okay, delete that. All right, guys. So this will be your work for today, and you'll find this in Google Classroom. Make sure you have your numbers in front of you, and you have these notes as well, so that could help All right, guys, so you're going to find this in Google Classroom. This is your work for today. You need to write the time for, you need to write these 6 times. 5:30 p.m., 6:15 a.m., 8:40 p.m., 12 a.m., 9:45 a.m., and 1:25 p.m. Remember the rules of what do I use when it's 15 and 30? Cuarto, media. What happens when I pass the 30-minute mark? What do I need to do? Because I no longer use y, I use menos. We have learned another way to say 12 a.m. Make sure you write that down as well. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please ask.